All right, welcome back to Soul Spark Bro. Happy New Year, people. Happy New Year to you. Feliz Nuevas Años and all that other stuff. Oh, man. I'm happy to be back on the mic with y'all. It was rough last couple of days. I guess I'm really not getting as good a sleep as I've been thinking I was. I think mostly that was because, I've been spending a lot of time on my phone, and it's because low-key I've just been anxious. That's it. I've had anxieties, and I haven't had the desire to release that energy in the way that I've once done it before. And I know that it is there. So it's like I've been trying really hard, really since November, to be in that energy I want to be in. But I know that I keep forgetting my why or something. I feel like there's a part of me that just is being held back. But it's funny because I just thought about it right now. I feel like I'm trying to drag a part of myself along with me to my future. So, yeah, I'm going to make sure that this is a shorter reading today. But that's like the channeled message, That's me coming from my life, but that's why I was missing a day. I missed that day just because, again, I had to do other things like rest. Even if that was just me scrolling on my phone all day, I still had to rest. I was resting. That's what it was. So because I had to, I did it again today. But this time I slept more. So it's just knowing that I want to do certain things, knowing that I didn't do certain things when I had the inspired energy to do. It's like I really recognize myself and my patterns, my behaviors, but there's still just been something that's been stopping me from just being completely in that flow of like I feel good doing this. Hell yeah, whether it's good or bad, I'm here. Let's get it. That's what it is. Telling your homie you're gonna, meet them at the gym every day in the morning, and then you're gonna go by yourself every day with a different friend in the evening. You're doing 2 a days kind of thing. In the morning time, you getting up. Sometimes you gotta get pulled, and then other times you gotta do the pushing. I'm getting the energy of the puller and the pusher inside of you. They're both motivated and inspired and mentally focused enough and emotionally stable enough to just go do it. Whether you was there with them or not, they're going to do it. And so it's like a person going to the gym, and you got a person who wants to go and do all cardio, then their friend goes to the gym with them and they want to do all heavy weightlifting. Those two differences would help you see the differences that I've been trying to recognize within me. Eventually, all the different parts of you just get summed up as a 2. All of those different parts of you get summed up into a category of 2 as well. This is the difference between the 2 of Cups. This is the difference between the Lovers, as well as Temperance. Let's get our overall energy. So this is exactly the case. For me, beautiful. So for me, when cards come out like this, you're enacting both. So these are people coming up against you, but then this is you defending yourself. The thing about this 5 card here for me is, when it's upright, this is an ass whooping. This is like a basketball game where the team wins 128-12. This is a football game, a soccer game, and the score is 19-2. You scored 19 goals? Yes. This is football score. 76-10. It is crazy scores, and they thought that you was the one who the underdog. And so when it's this way, you're enacting the fact that people don't know you the dog, and people know you the dog, but then they try you anyway, which is you allowing people. That's like you looking for a fight, you running the score up on purpose, opposed to them trying to run the score up on you, and you just said, I'm gonna just keep scoring. Stop us. Look, my freshman team is in here beating y'all and scoring points. We're hype. You can't stop us. Versus, we're going to keep my starters in until the very end and make sure we're dunking on you and shooting threes and doing everything. We're throwing it deep. Keep throwing the ball. Oh, we're going to keep scoring. We're going to keep putting the pressure on you. This is the idea of these cards, but this is the energy. So you got to look at where you're like being forceful and where things are being forced upon you. I feel like a lot of it comes down to the basics, simple things. Did you eat today? Did you eat good food for the last couple of days? Think in threes, 3 6s, and 3s, 5s, then 6s. Those 3, 6, 3, 5, 6, when you think that way, it allows you to see what we call as the in-between. The 3, the 5, and the 6 that's just, a single step. That's like learning all the things you need to learn in 5th grade, so then you can do it all again in middle school. Taking it from 5th grade, a grade aspect, and then recategorizing it into a new thing called middle school. We weren't talking about middle school, we were talking about grades. But because grades can translate, again, from elementary to middle school to high school, secondary school, whatever, even preschool, it's a way of measuring time, but then we also are acknowledging a secondary measurement of time. One is called 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. Another way to say that is middle school. Another way to say that is junior high. How does that refer to this? Well, it doesn't matter what these thoughts are, these perceptions, these things that come from the mind might not be from you. So you might hear a fan screaming and talking crap in the stands. So what? Like, that's what this card is saying. It's like there's so many things around you, but you gotta realize what you doing. And you the motherfucker. You the one. But you gotta realize you're creating all of it. Let's get a clarifier. Then we'll get a final message and I'll let y'all go. Because I gotta take care of myself a little bit better today. Alright. So, this is crazy. The clarifications is you're the king of actions right now. So that means you know what you want to do, but your emotions are a little bit youthful. Your emotions are a little bit naive. Your emotions are a little bit gullible. I'm saying these words because it will sound bad to an untrained ear, but this is the combat that you're going through. You got to realize the thoughts. Again, for me, I just realized that I've been wanting to do certain things, and it's like trying to get them done while thinking about wishing I could do them and things I could do. It's like creating a discord and making me want to do it more. But my body isn't able to. I've been just tired. I haven't even been wanting to work out and do yoga, nothing. But I haven't really realized how tired I was until today, when I found myself doing nothing but scrolling for a whole part-time day's worth of work, but not just once, not just twice, but 3 days in a row. So it's like, man, I could have been way more productive with the things I wanted to do with 3 days in a row, but I also had to realize what I was fighting. Because I knew that I wasn't being as productive as I could have, I haven't been doing all the things and being as efficient as I should have, or I wish I could be, or I know myself to be, I haven't been able. Until today when I realized, oh, took a nap? Instead of scrolling all that time, I slept all that time. What is going on? Oh, I'm realizing that I'm like putting the wrong energies in the wrong places because it's something about my mind that hasn't changed still. And I think it's coming. What it is I think it's the maturity of this. But it's like we're always seeing the fish in our own youthful cup. The page of cups is not the problem. The page of cups is us just starting something new. The problem is the fish in the cup. What we're identifying is that there is something that is different, and I don't know how to work with it. So, an easy and common example of this is when they say you can't have the good without the bad. And then they also say you can't have the bad without the good. You know, there's no growth for the plant without rain. But there's no growth for the plant without sunshine. So you need to have the sun be there, and you need to have the sun leave. You need to have the water be there, and then you need to have the water leave. I'm saying it two clear, distinct, different ways. I'm saying it two different ways on purpose. I'm not saying if there's no rain, then there must be sun. That's what you gotta like realize with the perceptions, the thoughts of the things that you're hearing for this next year. You're gonna have to hear them differently. You're gonna have to listen differently. The new experiences, you're gonna have to see them differently. How differently can you see them? Oh, even though you have youthful, like, I want to learn desirable energy, right? This page of cups energy, your actions are mature and it's BDE. For the ladies, it's WAP. So my dudes, you walking around with the BDE in your actions, even though you feeling youthful in your energy, it's because you're exposing yourself to new perceptions. But in this world, it's like you're getting to level up and realizing, damn, you over leveled for this section of the life. Woo! Hell yeah, this should be easy then. Even if there's a type advantage against me, I got fire, or they got fire, I'm paper. You know, they will burn me to death, but for some reason you got like this advantage and their little fire attacks aren't working on you. Maybe you got a little bit of water resistance to you. There's something to you that I don't think you're realizing. And I think that's actually a good thing. Because you don't know. So to me, it's like, it's a variable. It's an X. So it is something that's a part of you. That construct is always with you. But because it's an unknown, you know what will enter into that space. But that space must be triggered. And so here's the mathematical concept that is being applied to this right now. I got to bring it out. I want to put the same number. Here's you. So here's you. You're going to be 2x. We're going to put you down here 3 times. So these are all different situations. These are situations that you may or may not be going through in life that will be bringing you newness, new emotions, new feelings, but you got really mature actions. So it's about seeing why sometimes you're gaining victory versus not. It's because you're kicking ass in certain areas and you're kicking ass in other areas that shouldn't have his ass kicked. And then we can go to the other side saying, you getting your ass whooped. What we're talking about here is when we change the circumstances, These three different things, I got an addition, subtraction, and a multiplication symbol. These differences of life, I'm adding things to my life, I'm taking things away from my life, and then I'm multiplying things in my life. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Whatever. Anyways, when you flip or polarize, so what we have to realize is, what is the quantity? What is that value? Because this is what we're trying to identify. This X, I'm trying to see why do I keep changing? I know I'm me. I know I'm changing. I know I'm staying constant. But what is causing me to change? Well, this is what we call your environment. Let's say your environment is equal you plus whatever minus whatever multiplied by whatever is equal to something outside of you. Let's call it a 6, a 10, and a 12, whatever. We want to know what this is, but we also want to know what this is. So the idea is, if you apply this as the concept, just polarizing, doing the opposite, having the other side. If you're mature in something, be immature. If you're a veteran, be a rookie. If you're an all-star, be a novice. This is the idea. If you can always inverse it, go to the complete other side, you'll realize that you're not on the other side yet. You're only at halfway, which is the equalization. Then you got to repeat the pattern. That is this idea of having two. You got to pull some energy back over here. Don't whoop their ass with the starters in there. We're clearly way better. We clearly got a height advantage. We clearly got a size advantage. I clearly got a money advantage. I clearly got an experience advantage. I clearly got an age advantage. I'm going to drop that aspect. Once you drop that aspect, which is this blank space right here, we don't know what that aspect is yet. Situational. But once we drop this by doing the opposite, we now know how we actually relate to the environment once we remove that obstacle. If this is a basketball game, if I take out my starters and put in players who are nearly as good as my starters, they just have a height difference. If I put them in there and we're still whooping their ass, are we really that good, or do they just suck? Well, I put in two different kind of teams. I tried two different kind of ways. I had two different things to work with to relate. Two different things to work with to relate. Two different things to work with to relate. The idea is, how can I see the relationship within myself? Well, you got to remove or neutralize the external factors. So guess what? If I put in that second team of basketball players and they're really good too, guess what? We're already winning by 40 points. Hey, freshmen, people in the stands, go get dressed out. Come get some experience. Some people might say that would be terrible. But again, we're putting people in play to where they have a skill level that is more closely matched. You're not sending in the dogs to go beat this, a high school team to go play a team of third graders in football. No, what? This is the #1 football team in the nation. You want to put them against some random 8-year-olds? No. That is the understanding that we're trying to find when we're taking this energy of feeling these things that we're really unfamiliar with, but being mature in all the actions we can take with the things we're feeling. It's like we know better, but now we feel different, so we're trying. It's like starting over as a kid. You just gotta experiment now, and you gotta realize that this time when you swing your sword, the enemy dies completely. This time when you take your jump shot, it goes in. You've shot so many. This time when you swing, when you do your eyebrows, they look fire because you've seen them when they don't. You can blend those, colors together because you've seen what happened when you add or subtract others. This is the concept of a variable. When you don't know shit in life, you need to take what you do know and do the opposite, but it's not the opposite. Opposite refers to spaces. The left side of the equal is opposite to the right side of the equal. You need to have adjectives to describe the context so we can describe the spaces. Let's add some numbers in here. Let's say it's the same situation. You got homework in all of your classes. But the homeworks, because they're different classes, have different values. So this easy homework up here versus this harder homework up here has two different point values. And then you got something in the middle. How much time, energy, and effort should you be putting into these homeworks? Well, there's a few ways you can think about it. The first thing you need to do is realize that you got homework. So you need to take out time to do homework. Let's see how much you need. Let's see how much time you need. Well, we can say something simple like do the opposite. So I'll take the opposite of +4 and put a -4. But because I understand that that only takes me to this equal sign, I gotta remind myself that I gotta do it again. It's been 20 minutes, damn it. So let me get done. If you do it over here, now you got a simple problem. What is 6 take away 4? If I got 6 fingers up and I take away 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm left with 2 fingers up. Bang, bang. So guess what? Now I have 2 is equal to 2x. This is where you find your relationship. Oh, this thing here at the top can be divided by me, and if I put some energy in there, and then if I divide by me again, and I put some more energy in there, that just says I got 1. So my value for this variable at the top is 1. What does that mean? It's a one-to-one relationship. That means if it's short, I just need a short amount of time. If it's long, I just need a long amount of time. If this is what we call a direct relationship. This is how you're relating. So again, with these changes that you got going on here of the mind, you got to start relating to the mentalities that you're being exposed to. Again, it doesn't fucking matter. In other words, you got to change your motherfucking mindset. We had the empress at the bottom. Now we got the emperor. That's crazy. So the emperor and the empress are both about to change. That's it. That's all. They're taking on different roles. They've hit another phase in life. The emperor is not 25 anymore. The emperor is realizing he's 55. Shit gotta change. The empress is in birthing age. Now all of a sudden the empress can't have any children anymore. Shit has changed. But they're still powerful. So it's about relating to the power in a new way, and that's going to be all year. So I heard somebody talk about like realizing how great and amazing you actually really are, but then taking the time to see and relate to other people who make it clear. Just like it's clear that we're kicking this team's ass. Look, all the freshmen are playing on varsity against this team. Damn, it was a waste of my time, coach. But anyways, let's shut it down. It's way longer than I want it to be. Here's the final message. What the fuck? Here's the final message. So it's funny because it's the maturity of the emotions. That's what this is all about. So The fact that you remain youthful with this fish being that X variable in your life, you are keeping yourself as yourself, but you are paying attention to the small parts that help you relate. And you're starting off with the environment, and then you're neutralizing the environment to a space first, and then you're taking that space, and then you're neutralizing it again from yourself. You're starting to realize what you need to take off before you start relating to people. You don't change how you interact with people because that's just a layer of life. That is surface, is what we say. But as the interactions progress, things get removed. But that doesn't mean you have to just immediately create a value for that variable. You can let the environments dictate how you relate. You're always going to be you, but you're always going to be you, which means that there's a changeable part of you in which you don't know. So you know there's a part of you that you can't know about yourself. But guess what? You can know around it by knowing the cup. By you focusing on the cup more, then you can believe in the emotions of the actions. But again, I think this is going to come into the context. Once you get the cue, once you understand the code, oh, I have a one-to-one relationship with this thing, guess what? Then you know how much love and effort and energy to give to certain things in your life. So for me, give life to the basics this next year. I think if you just tone everything down to the basics, you'll be A-okay. I'm going to just work out. But your body isn't changing. Well, guess what? You want more changes? You have a one-to-one relationship. If you want more changes, you got to make more changes. So instead of going into the gym and feeling like you need to do the same shit for 3 hours, change it up. Do your regular routine for 1 hour, stop for an hour. Guess what? You got a whole new challenge to try to fit 3 hours into one now. Next phase would say, okay, now hour 2, because I'm kind of tired because I have to move way faster. I feel way different about the same old shit, but I'm not done. I'm now going to this yoga class. Boom. It's me outputting energy, but it's a whole different point of view. It's like recovery. And I know I need that, but guess what? I never really gave myself that because I was just running for 3 hours. Now I've decided to make a change again and say, well, I'm not going to go 3 hours in a row. I'm going to go 2 hours before I go to work. Oh, wow, I've enjoyed my extra hour being up now. You know, I have more time. I journal. Maybe I take a walk. Maybe I meditate. Maybe I just drink coffee, you know, or some tea or something. Whatever. You got the extra time because you kept the space, right? But then you added another space towards the end. Now you do a Zumba class after work. So again, a lot of changes, a lot of reshuffling, but it's all because you're realizing what makes you feel. Yes, if you feel like you need more changes, I can feel like I can change the changes that will make me feel. I can change the changes. Oh, I'm going to the gym to make changes. Well, change that change. Now I'm not going to the gym to run for 3 hours. I'm going to change that. And now I got an hour lifting weights. I got an hour stretching and doing yoga and breathing and connecting my mind and my body together. I'm reflecting about how I move my body instead of just going to the fucking gym and moving my fucking body. Have a plan. Have a dance. Have a purpose. Have a motherfucking reason. Don't just be in that bitch moving shit because you want to move shit. No. Be like granddad who picking up fucking sandbags because he want to pick up a baby. This is the kind of shit that you need to be using yoga for. And then you go to Zumba class or you go to cycling class or something like that. Why? Because maybe you want to extend that work to something else. Oh, the only other else is a space. Oh, the only other space you can have is the opposite space. Instead of being on a motherfucking cycling machine inside the motherfucking gym, I can take my ass outside the motherfucking gym and still be on a goddamn cycling machine. This is us being able to take the mature steps no matter where we go because we're experienced. But we want to have this youthful energy, but we don't want to be defeating things overbearingly, and we don't want to be overwhelmingly defeated. We don't want to be unintentionally defeating things too much, and then we don't want to make things that seem easy extra hard. We don't want any of those things. So we're going to keep our naivety, our youthfulness, our willingness to learn and receive information, but we're just going to be receiving bigger amounts. We're going to think bigger. We're going to think better. Why? Because we're operating on the ultimate fulfillment, which is it makes me feel good. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I know I'm going to take mature actions. I'm just going to make sure it's making me feel better. I'm not going to be cutting out all of these foods without adding a bunch more. You got to start being more balanced, people. So again, I'm getting a little too passionate and it's been too long. So hey, get on here on another one. Holla at y'all. Later, I'm Mr. Renew, and this is So Sparkterro. Peace.